Welcome back to Dork Points, everybody. This is Ron, and it's part 2 of my premium tier binge for PlayStation. I do this once a year, so I just did it for 3 months, and then I get rid of premium, and that's really honestly all you need. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, PlayStation, but yeah, just get it for 2 or 3 months when it's cheap. So I mentioned this in the last video. It's MediEvil 2, and it's a classic, but after completing it, it's really hard and short, weirdly. And of course, there are a ton of problems with this game. This is a PlayStation 1 game. This is raw and rough. And unfortunately, I played this right after playing the MediEvil Remastered game, or the new remake of MediEvil. So don't do that, because that was a horrible mistake. Yeah, there's camera problems. It's just brutally hard, but for PS Premium, there is, for all PS1 and 2 games, there's a rewind feature. And that's the only way I was able to get so quickly through this game. Yeah, it's a rough one, it's a tough one, but it is a classic. This is something that needs a remake, for sure. I wouldn't recommend necessarily playing this version of it if you've never played it before. All right, moving on to Legacy of Kain, Defiance, the classic, and kind of the same thing with this one. If you've never played it before, this is going to be really rough and tough. It's 90% puzzle solving. So as much as it looks like an action slasher, there's a lot of puzzle solving. Also, the camera, and I said this in my last premium video, but the camera sucks. And as you go on in the game, it kills you. It results in death all the time, or just irritating, slow platforming because your character slips off of everything. So, I mean, if you fix that and you fix the camera, it would be a great game. Now look at that. Look at that camera movement there. Yep, just behind the wall. There you go. Now let's talk about the story. Now, I never liked, because this is the conclusion to the Legacy of Kain series and Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and, honestly, I never liked the way this resolved. Raziel was always my hero. Kain was never my hero. Spoilers if you can figure that out. So I was pretty bummed by this, but playing it again, it's okay. It kind of leaves it open for a sequel, so I'm not so bummed. I didn't realize it wasn't as open and closed as I recall. But this final boss fight, as tough as it is kind of a letdown. It's just the fighting his tentacles in that room. But great game. Play it if you've played it before. I don't know. Playing it now would be tough. Anyways, moving on to Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. Now, this is one I had never played before, and I really enjoyed it. And I was playing Tomb Raider at the same time and a bunch of other climbing games. Now, the character modeling looks like crap, so I'm not sure if this is PS1 or PS2. I never even looked it up. I'm sorry. But, yeah, it's a pre-Uncharted. It doesn't have... I mean, you could say it's aping off of Tomb Raider as well, but I don't know. It's more button prompty than Tomb Raider ever was. It's more like Uncharted because of that, and I would say, again, it's an old game, so some of the stuff is arduous and difficult to figure out, and the fighting. The moment you start this game and you get into your first fight, you're going to want to turn this game off. You're going to hate it. But if you stick with it and you figure out how it works, it's pretty rewarding. But it has an almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say Sifu style, but it's an odd fighting mechanism that they use. And there's lots of that in here, lots of button mashing and button prompts. But they keep it fresh, they keep it different. Every level feels different and fresh, and there's so many different styles of gameplay like you're seeing here. And I would say the one thing that probably irritates me is the shooting. Without the rewind feature for PS Plus, the shooting sections would take forever. And then I don't know if this game uses up lives, because I just kept rewinding it when I died, but I don't know if this is one of those 3 lives and you have to start the whole game over game. I hope not. But yeah, pretty tough shooting segments, but otherwise great. The story is great. It's really fun to play, even having never played it. Check it out if you got Premium. All right, moving on to Deus Ex Conspiracy. And I talked about this in my FPS video, and this game is just rock solid. Now, it is PS2 era, and this is a sort of port of the PC version, but the levels, different design. They basically had to redesign the game for PS2, so it doesn't look as slick as the original PC version, and the character modeling may not look as great, honestly. And there is a remaster coming out very soon, if it's not out yet, and I would definitely recommend playing that. The boss fights are a little easy sometimes, but you know, it's all about cheesing the game and doing things the easiest way. So there is that, and there's a bunch of moments like that where you can just break the game and just cheat and not have to do the hard things you're supposed to do. But again, still hard. All these little things you're seeing that I'm showing on the video right now are glitches, difficult moments. Yeah, blew myself up. How? I don't know. And then the aiming of the pistol, which is basically your main weapon, because you only have so much ammo. It's off. Like, you see how I shot that guy and I wasn't even aiming at him, and then when it was red on him, I couldn't shoot him? I don't know. But it's a great game, a beautiful game. Play the remake for sure. All right, moving on to God of War 3. So this was an odd one, kind of like MediEvil, where I have recently played God of War, and then I just finished God of War Ragnarok like 6 months ago, and then I started playing this. And yeah, don't do that. Because the rough edges here are much rougher, not as bad as God of War 1 or 2, but again, I don't love those games anyways. I like the new version of God of War. I don't like the button prompts and all the weird puzzly things that they don't explain to you. Because everything's like a weird different puzzle every time, and then you have to figure it out or look it up, and you get lost a lot. It is an older school game, like, I don't know, early PS3. It's not PS2 for sure. It looks too pretty for that. And it is a pretty game. Just like all the God of War games, it's just got that AAA gleam and sheen to it. And just like Indiana Jones, there's so many like little different missions and levels and things you do where you're just like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. And for the most part, I would say I did love it. There is moments where the visuals are just, it's like too much. And then again, the button prompts, not my favorite thing. But the thing that broke me with this game is this section here where you have to do the toggle. You have to swoop your toggle. That's the button prompt. And every time I tried to do it, I don't know if I've got controller drift or whatever, but it didn't work. So I was just quit. Speaking of that, here we go. Tomb Raider Anniversary. And this is a PS2, I guess, remake, or what would you say, retelling of the first game. And straight away, the shooting for this was unpleasant, and Indiana Jones was far superior. Yes, you fight a dinosaur, and yes, there are, of course, lots of buggy moments. Buggy, she can't get up on the thing. And then you're going to see me falling a bunch of times. Just minor complaints for the most part. But yeah, just like God of War 3, I reached a point where I was like, ugh. And I made it through the box puzzles. The box puzzles in this game, you know, IDOS, you know, just like Soul Reaver, or Crystal Dynamics, whatever it is, yeah, the box puzzles I could do without. This is awesome. When you stand on Midas's hand, it turns you to gold and you die. It's game over, which is really cool. So I made it past this point. I don't know, honestly, I feel like I'm pretty far into the game, but this boss fight was brutal. I kind of had to look it up. Every boss fight, there's a trick to it. So you have to kind of figure out what that is. And for the most part, I was able to, but this one, I did have to look up a walkthrough. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it up until this point. And this is when the game ended for me. Every time I tried to jump and hook onto that thing, it was like the interface wasn't working, like there was a delay on my button prompts. It just didn't work, and I kept falling. And then one time I hooked it, and then I just hung there and I didn't know where to go. All right, speaking of other irritating things, I'm sorry. we're getting into that part of the video now. Kurushi Final. It's an interesting puzzle game, but honestly, I don't know why I should even show what it is or if I can even explain what it is. Nobody nowadays is going to want to play a game like this. It's funny, my daughter used to play the little Applebee's pad that you can pay $2 for, and there was a game just like this on it, and she got pretty good at it. But, you know, to be honest, even after the tutorials and playing a bunch of mini missions, I could not get through the first level of the main game, the 100 levels. Yeah. Ugh. I'm dumb. Anyways, moving on to Twisted Metal, and yeah, I'm sorry. This is that part of the video. I don't love Twisted Metal. I don't think the game looks good. I don't like the way everything gets in your way, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why these games are so beloved. It must be the story behind it and the world that they've created, but I remember these games back in the day and going over to my friends' houses and playing these games. And after 15 minutes, I was like, I'm good. I'm bad at this, and I'm done. And that's exactly what happened here. I think I got to the second or third level, and I just got destroyed over and over again and just put it down. And now, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Now, this, sadly, I was hoping it would be like Ratchet and Clank. It had that look in the little previews for it, in the little pictures, but it is not that. It is difficult, irritating, and frustrating. Now, you see it says mission failed there. Now, if you look at the top, the time is counting down. Now, I was moving my ass through this level, and I had to do this over and over again where it stops and it just says mission failed. Now, finally, I was able eventually to get to this final boss of this level and fight him, and he wasn't that hard. But this happened every time I played the game. Like, you can barely get there without the time running out. It's just a timer game, basically. So I got to the second level and never even saw the fight with the boss because I just ran out of time. As fast as I was moving, the game just, it's hard. And it's for kids. I don't know. All right, but now to wash that terrible taste out of our mouth and cleanse the palate, it's Toy Story 3. And Cat Icarus mentioned this in one of his videos, and I was like, it's odd that he mentioned Toy Story 3 as one of like his favorite Pixar games. Just odd. And then I played it and I was like, oh my god, this game is fantastic, and there's so much here. Now, these stealthing elements, that's the one part of the game that I found really irritating and kind of slowed the game down. But like I was saying, kind of like Indiana Jones, every level is something different and something interesting, and they keep it fresh, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's long enough to be satisfying. And I mean, just look at these shots. Sorry, up there, look at them. Gorgeous, these flying missions with Buzz, and there's a lot of Buzz levels, and then there's a lot of Woody levels, and you got the shooting. Now, these side-scrolling parkour sections, I did have to use rewind several times on them. They do get eventually pretty hardcore. But the game itself is just fantastic. Like I said, and of course you have the Tomb Raider style turning and jumping behind you, and yeah, the game's pretty satisfying. It kind of leaves out big chunks of the movie plot, but it still goes all the way through the movie for the most part. It's a great game. Play it if you got Premium. All right, moving on to Jet Moto. Now, I can't really bash this one too hard because it's an early racer game, and all early racer games are extremely hard. And I love the look of it. It gives me a warm hug, you know. It's back in that era of just like digitized graphics. It looks really good, but the game, I can't play it. I keep running off the track. I can't do the corners, and so yeah, I played like 3 levels. Sorry. All right, moving on to the Raven Remastered. And for the most part, we're at the end of the list now, and this is a lot of stumpers. This is a lot of games that I just had to give up on. And Raven, unfortunately, seemed like a really fun game, and it's an investigative game. You're a detective, and you have to follow the clues and stuff. But I couldn't get past the first 3 train cars, and I couldn't figure out a way to You have to go and talk to this guy and open a door. And there's an Agatha Christie character, which is kind of interesting. But this guy. So to move the story forward, I have to find something to open this door. And I played the game for like 3 or 4 hours, a couple of nights, and I was just like, I don't know how to do it. And I'm not going to look up a walkthrough for that one. I'm sorry. All right, and now Tekken 3, the second to last game, I think, of the night. And this was another one, not Caddy, but one of the What Cultures guys mentioned like Tekken 3 as his favorite. And I played it, and I had kind of the opposite moment as Toy Story 3, where I was playing it, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's from that era, like Virtua Fighter and all that stuff, 3D fighting. But there was nothing here as far as story. Like, I was trying to play through the story, and by the 5th or 6th fight, I just got my ass totally handed to me, and I did that a couple times, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm good. I didn't get what people love about this particular Tekken. And final game of the night, it's Cool Borders, and yeah, it's a snowboarding game. Oh, kind of final game of the night, by the way. There's something else, a little treat. But yeah, it is what it is, just kind of like Jet Moto. It's a racing, or it's a snowboarding racing game, whatever you call it. I think it's a lot about tricks. You know, honestly, this was another one that I played for an hour, and I was just like, I can't do it because I was expecting SSX Tricky. And this must be PS1, because this is nowhere near that. This is garbage compared to SX Tricky. So please remaster that and put that on Premium instead. All right, final game of the night. It's Mr. Driller, and I just thought I'd mention this because my Premium is going to be gone in a couple of days, and every time I get Premium, I play this game. You know, it's like my end of the night. Can't do anything else. Mr. Driller is a fantastic game. So if you have Premium, this is one of those little treats you can just pick up and play anytime, and it's fun with friends. It's fun to watch everybody try to do an amazing run, and sometimes they do. But there you go. That's all the games I have played recently on the PS Premium tier. Thank you for watching. Dork Points. Goodbye.